All right, let's get into what happened at Smackdown last night. So first things first, Solo Sikoa came out with his bloodline, Toma Tonga and Jacob Fatu, and Solo decides he wants to, threaten Roman, tell him that the match on January 6th that's coming out is on Netflix is going to be the biggest ever, and that Roman should be aware because he's going to take him down. Suddenly, we hear McIntyre's music hit, and that's when he and McIntyre kind of get into this truce, but not really truce, because McIntyre is grateful that he is going after Roman, but at the same time, the next match is going to be against them. So that's all interesting and everything. And then all of a sudden, it's Andrade and Apollo Crews run out and go against go against the new bloodline. And McIntyre kind of skates away. They kind of have made their truce. And LA Knight comes out. So this is all really interesting because it's kind of like what's going to happen on January 6th. Is Solo really going to be able to come out and do a one-on-one match? And like, can we trust him with that? Because I don't really believe it. But anyways, so Andrade and Apollo Crews and LA Knight are all fighting now against the Bloodline and Solo, when all of a sudden Nakamura comes and he decides that he hasn't finished his feud with LA Knight. You want to come? So he comes out, and him and LA Knight, like, he takes down LA Knight, which I have a psycho cat right now. He comes out and takes down LA Knight. And my question is, what is his feud with LA Knight still? Like, are we not over this yet? He won the championship, and yeah. So this whole match was just so weird to me because it's like, when did Andrade and LA Knight and when did they decide they were going to end Apollo Crews? When did they all decide that they were going to go against the Bloodline? My director, ladies and gentlemen. Don't want him to get into the fire. So anyways, that was like a whole thing to me. It's a very, like, it was so confusing, but it's kind of an interesting story because, I mean, who knows what's going to happen on January 6th now, because there could be a bigger feud currently going on that we don't even know about, but I don't know. Okay, let's move on. The next match was, the next segment was Chelsea Green. And my only opinion of this was, Chelsea is a really great character, and I think it's great that she won, and like her attitude and her persona and everything is really great, but like, I just think like someone is going to come in and take her down a peg, and needs to, and whether that's, her, I don't know, who that's going to be, but it seems like she needs to be taken down a peg or two. It's really great that she won, though. I think that she's fantastic for this character right now. And yeah, so I guess we'll just see what happens there. Moving on. Next was the Kevin Owens promo. So we all saw what happened. Kevin Owens came in after the match with Cody Rhodes, and Cody won. And Kevin Owens came in and slammed Cody's neck down, and then decided that he was going to stand on top of him while he was on a back brace thing for to go to the emergency room and hold his title up in the air. I mean, in my opinion, it's just like, how petty can you actually be? You lost. You know, refs get knocked out all the time. And sometimes you just have to go with the flow. And if you feel cheated, then come back and fight for it rather than take his title and like sit there and be like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a little bitch and just show this title to everyone and steal it from you. Like, you didn't even earn it at that point. You may think that you did, but did you? Because I don't think you really did. His promo was great though, and you know, he is coming for revenge, and it's kind of a question of like, what is this going to do to the new WWE on Raw on Netflix? Because how are they going to combat this, and like, how are they going to, like, I don't know. KO, in my opinion, isn't the greatest character, to be honest, and so I liked him better when he wasn't a heel, but now that he is, they got to run with it. And so let's see the flack that comes after this and like what's going to happen next. Again, it's all up in the air with this whole thing going to Netflix, and I think everyone knows that. The next match was Braun Strowman versus Carmelo Hayes. And I honestly, I love Braun Strowman. I love him so much. I think he's such a fantastic character, and he is a big monster, and I think that that's like really fantastic for him, and it's so weird to me that he's fighting Carmelo Hayes, and like the whole way that it was planned out, that he came on the Grayson Waller show, and you know, they're trying to like recruit him. It just, everything seemed so weird. And so, you know, I really think that like coming up, something big has to happen where Braun Strowman is just like, no more of this bullshit. Like, I'm winning that. Like, I'm beating Carmelo Hayes. I'm taking him down. It just doesn't make that much sense to me if they keep putting him against these characters that he can obviously beat. I mean, he's Braun Strowman. He can take down Carmelo Hayes. All Carmelo did was just like run away the entire time. So, and then he lost by count out. Like, how stupid is that sometimes? Like, anyways, I thought that was like a really weird match. And like afterwards, it's like, you know, Carmelo Hayes comes in the back and like starts beating on him again. And it's just over and over where you're just kind of questioning, is this like a real, like what is, where is this leading to? Because we know Braun Strowman deserves so much better. So like maybe there is something with the Wyatt Six coming back and Braun getting back in that. And we already know that the Wyatt Six has kind of tormented other groups. And so maybe like Braun is like, did Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, did they like set me up for this? And then it's just like a 3-on-1 kind of like, or a 3 on the Wyatt Six. I don't know. I just thinking out loud. Next one is Johnny Gargano versus Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns. And you know, I've never, ever since Johnny Gargano came to like WWE after NXT, like I just have never really liked him. I don't think that he's one of the strongest characters, and I think that it's really just kind of like pathetic that he lost, or he won to Alex Shelley and he beat him, because I don't think he really deserves it, to be honest. Like, I think that the I always get their name wrong. The Motor City Machine Guns really do deserve it. Like when they came in, the way that they fight is really fantastic. Like the team that they have is really great. And I think that Tommaso Ciampa is also really great. I think like out of those three people, Johnny Gargano is down at the very bottom in my opinion. So it's really hard for me to watch this and like think that he's a great character. And I also do see that Tommaso Ciampa is kind of getting sick and tired of Johnny. Like Johnny Gargano is like actually like really needing to prove himself, because if he doesn't, he knows Ciampa's gonna just drop him. Ciampa's getting fed up. Even like the moment right before the match, there was like a segment where he's like, "Oh, you stay here, stay in the locker room." It's like I think Ciampa was like, "Dude, I'm your partner. So we're in this together, but if you don't want to be and you want to go out there by yourself, then fine." And Johnny did prove himself, but did he really deserve it? I don't know. I don't think so. Um okay, the big kahuna. Naomi and Bianca versus Nia and Candice LeRae. So let's just start with Bianca and Naomi. My number one contender of who took out Jade is Naomi, because she was acting really sketchy during the little backstage press conference before they went on stage. And I just think that she has been wanting a title, and it's been killing her that Bianca and Jade have just been destroying, destroying, destroying. And so it's kind of feels like she just decided, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to weasel my way into this, and I'm going to win with Bianca, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go. In my opinion, I think that she was the one to take Jade out. And I think that the problem is going to be that Jade comes back, and now Naomi has weaseled her way in, and I think Jade's gonna be like, "Hello, like you replaced me that easily, and now you guys have the championship." Like, and then it's gonna be confirmed that Naomi did take out Jade, because Jade's gonna be like, "No, it was Naomi." And I think it's going to cause a drift between Naomi and Bianca, because it's gonna be like Bianca's gonna be like, "Well, I had no idea," but Jade's not gonna really believe that, and so it's gonna be Jade's gonna be like, "I think you had something to do with this, because you kind of just pushed, like you put someone in my place right away." And so I think that it's either going to turn into Bianca and Naomi having kind of like a drift between them, losing the belts, and then it's going to be each one on their own, and they're no longer teams, because I think Bianca's going to be like, "What the hell, Naomi? Like, why did you do this?" And I think Jade's going to be like, "Oh, like, Bianca, really tell me you didn't have anything to do with this." So if that all happens, I think that this is the perfect way to get Bianca and Jade to be singles now and not tag team champions. And that's going to cause a fantastic match between them, possibly at WrestleMania. So that could be a really interesting storyline, but that's just my thought, because I think that Naomi was definitely acting really sketch, and I don't think that Bianca has anything to do with it, but I think that this is exactly what Naomi wanted. And I guess finally, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Tiffy. This trio that's not a trio anymore, because Candice LeRae is obviously not the strongest character. I mean, when she came out and Bianca was able to just lift her over her head and just like, it was like she was about to just like toss her the into like the fans or like out into the audience. For that reason, I think that Candice LeRae is not the strongest character right now. And she needs to be taken down a peg or two also. Because as much as she's just kind of like going in there and causing issues. And another big thing is, I think now, so what happened was, we saw Candice is in the ring, Nia is kind of outside, and Tiffy comes running out, and she has the belt in her hand. And I think that Nia is sick and tired of Tiffy coming out with the belt, or not the belt, with the money in the bank, sorry, the money in the bank. And I think she knows that Tiffy's ready to cash in. And especially after they just dissed her and they were like, oh, well, Tiffy, we think that you should just stay back and like learn from the best. I think Tiffy has a little issue with that. And honestly, Tiffy's a better fighter than Candice. So really, Nia's screwing herself over for this. But I think what's going to happen, well, what I want for it to happen is Nia is going to be like, okay, I can't handle Candice because she's too small. She can't handle these bigger wrestlers. So I need to find someone else, or I need to just do this on my own. And I think that she also is going to look at Tiffy, who's going to be like, they're both going to be like, you know what? We're sick and tired of each other. That's it. Like, game over. We're done being like BFFs and all of that stuff because you've chosen other people over me. You've chosen yourself over me. Like, I need my own title. And I think that that's going to really, it's causing a drift between everyone. And I think Tiffy's sick of Nia like being this boss, because Tiffy also wants to kind of be the boss. She's kind of tired of being Nia's patsy. So yeah, I mean, I can totally see that just like going totally opposite directions. And I can see Tiffy coming in and finally cashing in. I think it just has to happen. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so that's kind of a little bit of what happened last night on SmackDown, as well as my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, I want to hear everything you guys have to say in the comments. And if you guys have any predictions of your own, let me know. And as always, please subscribe, because there is a lot going to happen before Netflix January 6th. So we still have some predictions happening. And also, what do you think is going to happen on Netflix January 6th? Like, do you think that Solo's going to win or Roman's going to win? Just let me know in the comments of like who you think is going to be showing up and what's going to happen between KO and Cody. And keep me updated on your ideas of if you think that Naomi was the one who took down Jade, or maybe it was Bianca or someone else. I don't know. Let me know. And thanks for tuning in.